Welcome to the Zadzooks Happy Hour, a podcast exploring the latest in film, TV, games, toys, and more. And now, somewhere in a secret bunker outside of Washington, D.C., here are your hosts, 30-year veteran of pop culture and entertainment news for the Washington Times, Joseph Zadkowski, and pop culture, technology, and space aficionado, Todd Stowell.
Oh, I get to go first this week.
Letting you go
you
first.
Just didn't dive right in.
Didn't dive in.
Because you're sick of everything.
I'm sick of
That's
everything?
what I hear everything. Yeah.
What'd you think of the Avengers trailer, the second one, the long one?
I need to see it one more time, but Brie Larson almost cracked a smile, so I'm excited about that.
I think that Chris Hemsworth saying something to her while he's holding what appears to be his
Hammer
again. Or he has a hammer.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
I went, well, he's got a hammer again.
Yeah.
That's cool. How did he get a hammer again?
Good question. Maybe she brought one for him.
Maybe she brought one for him. She bought one out in outer space.
She bought one on eBay.
Yeah.
She bought it on eBay. And obviously they spoiled that Tony Stark definitely makes it back to Earth because they're all wearing some space flight suits, Avengers suits, and he's standing next to them.
And
a lot more Paul Rudd.
The Arrow guy's got a mohawk.
Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner has a mohawk.
Mm-hmm. So who dies?
You mean who comes back?
I gotta who permanently dies?
Yeah.
I gotta believe it's Captain America.
Chris
Evans is.
He doesn't want to do this anymore.
You think it's going to be Tony Stark?
He's just making too much money.
Yeah,
he doesn't know what to do with it. I can't keep doing this.
Do you think it's just because it takes so long to film these things, and it's such a pain to not be able to do anything else? It's got to be a little bit of that.
Give me a break.
I guess. But,
give me a break.
Yeah, but I guess the question is, would you
go work at a McDonald's for a week?
Would you get bored if you did the same thing over and over again, and you had the capabilities of doing something different?
Not with the cash flow they're throwing at him. And it's not like he has to work 365 days a year.
I mean, how many?
What does he got to put in for a shoot? A couple months?
Well, didn't they film these back to back?
Yeah.
So
he didn't have to do anything.
Yeah. How long do you think this has been done?
Who cares? Let's say it's 4 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on.
You think Robert Downey Jr. is done, or is he just going to step aside and sort of be one of these like Stan Lee characters that just pops in?
That would be cool.
I think he'll do it.
Yeah.
I mean, what does he care?
But once again, what does he care?
I mean, he's got this money. He's got Sherlock money.
Yeah.
Because they're doing another Sherlock.
Yeah.
What was the other one that he's doing that I just saw?
I have no idea.
Which looked good, and Chris Hemsworth, man. Like, that dude.
I just saw the Men in Black trailer again.
That looks good.
It's good.
Yeah.
It'll be okay.
Why not, right? They're doing a crossover board game, Ghostbusters Men in Black.
What? A what?
You remember how
like USAopoly?
No, it's like it's a board game, and it's Ghostbusters and Men in Black agents.
I'd love to see who's doing that.
But the caricature artwork looks really cool.
Okay.
I'll show you afterward.
All right.
Yeah, so I don't know. I thought it looked good. It's a lot of nostalgia.
It's going to be a great movie.
It's going to be long. You thinking
good?
Are they going to push 3?
I hope so. I hope it beats Gandhi. That's all I care about.
How long was Gandhi?
I don't know.
Like 12 hours?
12 hours.
Imagine if it was 12 hours of Avengers.
4 bathroom breaks.
You would leave exhausted. Be like, remember when they broke Titanic up into 2 movies, or into like they had to do a break,
had an intermission
because people were so afraid that like you couldn't make it through a 3-hour movie, and now like 3 hours is nothing.
Gandhi had an intermission.
Did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. And yeah, I don't know. So
you're Mr. Excitement now with Division 2.
I'm having a good time.
You're in it.
I'm having a good time.
I keep trying to get into it.
Well, tell your kid to go back to school.
24 hours.
I'm having a good time with it.
I got a great character. It's this beefy dude with purple long hair.
Oh, so what I don't understand is how do you know what type of character you have? Or is that only in multiplayer where you're like demolitions? If you're a solo player, I don't think
you don't
you're
have a
anything.
custom.
I didn't think so.
I don't think you do.
My dude looks badass. He's got grayish hair, grayish beard, sunglasses.
So you didn't even change his hair color. You're so lazy you couldn't even go and change his hair.
No.
Because that was a default hair color.
It was the default, but then I put like this thick
that
beard.
Weird beard
He's
on
got
him.
scars on one side. I mean, this dude looks badass, man.
Mine's got a pizza slice for a tattoo.
That's awesome.
Yep.
I don't know.
I was very excited about that.
I don't know what I picked because my guy's
the perfect tattoo.
He's mostly wearing tactical gear.
Okay. Like you think that's going to help?
I mean, all I know is every time I turn around and I keep collecting loot, I've got backpacks,
holsters.
I've got holsters.
Yeah.
I mean, this dude's carrying everything. I think I get it. Now I can hold an extra grenade, which has been helpful. But I need to figure out a way to hold more health.
Yeah.
Because, man, there are some missions where when you're on your own, it is hard.
The difficulty increases immediately. Right?
Immediately. It took me 2 hours to clear through...
this the theater one?
This theater one. To get to... You have to go through the theater level by level, get to the roof, take out all these bad guys, and find this girl who had been captured, who is like the daughter of one of the people who runs...
So there's no way to accidentally kill the girl, is there?
No.
Okay,
she's
good.
like behind the door,
good.
and it's
so
locked.
You can just go guns blazing.
I mean, so I've played enough now where I can have two ancillary weapons doing things for me.
Yeah.
So I have a drone, and I have like a, I don't know what you want to call it, like a mini gun that you can set on the ground.
Yeah.
But the drone, I would expect you to throw it in the air and it would just start targeting people and shooting them.
Yeah.
No.
What do you got to do?
You have to like point and start shooting at the person, and then it'll shoot at them too. Which is kind of annoying when you're being shot at in multiple directions. You kind of just want it to mow everyone down for you.
Yeah, you don't want to do that work.
It doesn't do it. So that's been rough.
Doesn't make any sense.
I've died a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. And what I've noticed is that you'll get more powerful weapons, but they're not automatic or semi-automatic weapons. So there's a lot of trigger pulling, even though there's a lot of firepower that you've got there.
Right.
It's almost better to take a slightly less powerful weapon just for the automatic purposes of it. And I've only one time run out of ammo.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and I think it might have actually been a glitch that they fixed because I died and respawned, and usually you respawn back with at least one health, one grenade, and full ammo.
Right.
And everything came back except for the ammo, so I eventually ran out.
I'm spending a lot of time meandering. I'm going down back alleys.
Hell yeah, dude.
I'm looking through the metro.
Oh, yeah.
Division 2 takes place in Washington, D.C., if we didn't bring this up enough times. So, and it's pretty cool because your home base is the White House.
Yep.
And you go in there, and then you got to start looking around and going on submissions. And almost every intersection, there's a problem.
Yep.
There's always somebody causing an issue.
Once you rescue this girl, then all of a sudden the people from the rooftop group that you've helped, they start going out with you and helping you fight in the streets.
Okay.
But they're not very good, and you're still going to get shot at, but you're not alone.
Okay. They have guns?
They have guns.
Okay.
And they use them. They're not armored at all. They have no armor. And as soon as you do that and you return the girl, there's upgrades that take place. So the missions that you're doing, these side missions even help the community by like putting a roof over it, giving them access to food,
right,
or ways to cook food, or like refrigeration. Like you're trying to find this cache. The last thing I did, I just could not get past. You're trying to find a cache of batteries so they can get the generators going.
Yeah.
And so that they can use solar to charge them.
Right.
And it's like you're near a hospital, and the second you shoot one guy, 15 guys come at you at once.
Well, maybe it's a stealth mission. Is it possible you can sneak through there?
Nope.
No way.
You have to go through them to get to the other side. You can't even... I've tried like walking out and around the back way. Doesn't matter. They're right at the entrance, and they're all patrolling, and they're on multiple levels, and there's nowhere to hide. because they're packing such firepower. So not only are they packing firepower, but they also have all these people who are wearing riot gear who come and try to beat the crap out of you. And you would think shooting them at close range would just kill them. No. You got to pop them like 7 or 8 times. And at that point, you've taken multiple shots to the back while you're trying to do that. And then another one will come running.
So it gets really hard.
It's hard. If you play in single player mode, but you can get somebody with you who is sort of on the same path as you, you have a fighting chance. Playing it alone, and we were definitely playing the pre-release time. I don't know what it's like today.
With 2 other... We had 4...
like before it was public as of today.
Right.
Because it went live publicly on the 15th for full sale. There wasn't a lot of people around. So if you would like request help, if you like died...
There's nobody there.
There's no one around.
Right.
So... I don't know if that's intentional or not, but I mean, I've roamed around a lot, and I found a lot of really cool stuff.
The nighttime stuff's cool, too.
Yeah.
Because the hyenas got, like, fluorescent-colored vests.
Oh, there's a
bad
part,
guys?
There's a part where they have high-powered lasers that they flash in your eyes so you can't see anything.
Awesome.
And they have flash grenades that mess you up. They don't injure you, but then all of a sudden, your vision becomes completely cloudy and you can't see anything. There is something that I don't know if you've tried. When you're crouched down, don't stand up. Just fire.
Yeah.
You got a pretty good shot at hitting something without, and the only thing that's up above is your arm.
Got it.
And that works.
Okay.
I've done that a couple times, but it's hard. It's you gotta.
So it's still a fun game.
I'm waiting to get to the mall. That's where I'm headed next.
Okay.
Because I'm heading in that direction. I'm trying to finish this side mission because my understanding and reading some things online is if you can get the rooftop community sort of set, they'll send people to the White House, and then the command center gets upgraded at the White House. And eventually that leads somehow to finding wherever the bunker is, where the vice president or now president is.
Okay.
Right. So I think you kind of have to do that to do these upgrades that are necessary, or you're going to have to go back later and do it, and you might as well do it now.
Okay. But you don't think like just roaming and leveling up might help you with your current dilemma?
I'm doing that. I'm doing both.
Okay, so you're backing off and got it.
Yeah, like if I'm overpowered, I walk away, I walk down alleys, I try to see where I am. Like I knew where I was. I walked by the FBI building and all the windows were blown out. And it's definitely the FBI because I've seen it enough. And it was like, it was armored all the way around it. It had Jersey barriers, but it was all blown out and had burn marks on the side. It just looked cool.
Okay.
So I'm really liking. Again, probably more so than other people because if you don't live here, you don't get it. Yeah. But if you live here, you're like, oh damn, that's awesome.
So you haven't found your office yet?
I couldn't make it to my office right now.
Okay.
I mean,
too much.
When they let us explore during the preview, they were definitely advancing our players for us.
Right.
In this
but
case,
we still couldn't get to your office.
No.
It was bad.
I got to it, and then I got shot and killed. I was outside it.
Got it.
And then I was mowed down.
Okay.
It is much harder to play at night, I've noticed. Like, in the nighttime.
Yeah.
It's very dark.
It is.
And it's
There's
hard.
very little lighting.
There's very little lighting. It's hard to see anything. And you are given away because you have like a glowing circle on your backpack
orange circle,
or whatever it is. And people see that.
Right.
Whereas before I could hide and no one would notice me. If you just like walk up, they all notice you. And it's like, oh, sweet.
And I'm finding a lot of phones to listen to back conversations to try and figure out what's going on story-wise, but it doesn't really matter.
And I don't know.
You kind of already know.
I don't know what that's for because you also capture, when you're going through loot crates and everything, you get all these different electronics, and I haven't yet figured out what you do with that stuff.
I think you can craft new things.
Like build new weapons
like mods
and stuff.
And add mods to your weapons.
Yeah. But I think the only way you can mod is you have to go back to the White House.
Oh, yeah. It's all at the White House.
Everything is like, because there's a quartermaster there that you deal with.
That's right.
So far, so good. We're going to try to do multiplayer this coming week.
Yeah.
And we'll let you know
how
if
that
we
goes.
Notice anything different.
It'll go easier.
Yeah.
I think.
So it's all good, man.
Cool.
Okay.
All right.
Do we want to take a break?
Sure.
Okay, we'll do that, and then we'll come back and talk Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of Grindelwald.
Yeah. which you couldn't watch,
and one other,
because iTunes stinks.
One other movie that I don't know the name of off the top of my head, but I just watched it. So we'll be back.
Communities Digital News, built by the writers and editors that deliver the news 24 hours a day. Visit comdiginews.com. That's COMMDIGI news.com. And support the next evolution in news.
So you watched Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of Grindelwald.
Grindelwald. I don't know how to pronounce any of this stuff.
With Johnny Depp.
With Johnny Depp as the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
It was very Potter number 7.
7-1 or 7-2?
7-1. You know how dark that movie was? And I don't mean visually. I mean it was just
depressing
and oppressive.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we get here. We meet a young Albus Dumbledore, played by Jude Law. That's kind of fun. But this character named Credence Barebone is trying to find who his parents are, and he's played by Ezra Miller, who I've pretty much associated with The Flash.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to watch this guy as an evil or depressed human. So I get a whole bunch of that. Now, Credence is also this wizard, dark wizard, is after him, Gellert Grindelwald, which is Johnny Depp, who's being described as a sociopathic autocrat who's broken out of prison. And I feel like throughout the entire movie, there's just nothing to smile about.
Yeah, it's so my understanding is with Fantastic Beasts is it's almost more or less a prequel to Harry Potter and how there were a number of forces who I guess came together who conjured up.
The Dark Wizard is supposedly as powerful as Voldemort.
But didn't a bunch of wizards conjure up Voldemort somehow?
Yeah, I don't know yet.
Or like that's how they brought the dark arts together. But I mean, if you go back and you watch all the Harry Potters, they do get progressively darker.
Yeah.
And I remember watching 7-1 with my kids and not liking it at all.
Right.
Because it was like they were just constantly on the run.
And even the color palette was just gray.
It was gray. And 7-2 was where it was, I mean...
The only saving grace of this movie is, once again, Newt Scamander is back, Eddie Redmayne.
Mm-hmm.
And he's created a really nice character. And the guy always has these creatures in his suitcase. And if you open his satchel or his suitcase, it's a zoo.
Right.
You go downstairs, and it's a very cool concept, and you meet a lot of great creatures again.
Is the other guy that's with him back?
Yes, the goofy New Yorker.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Okay.
They hook up, and they're trying to find the goofy New Yorker's girlfriend,
right,
who happens to be a witch, mm-hmm, who's fallen under the spell of Grindelwald. You know, I don't know what else to tell you. If you're a Potter fan, you've already read the books, right? And you've already been in love with Harry Potter.
Yeah, Fantastic Beasts have never been books, right?
I don't think so.
Aren't they? I know. Like there's that other Harry Potter book that was a play where they released the screenplay, which if you're a kid reading a screenplay, you don't really understand.
Right.
But these, I don't think have ever been released as books. And I don't really know how much involvement she has.
She's totally in it. All over the place.
Who?
She's on J.K. Rowling.
She's all
on
over.
the set. She's everywhere.
So is she writing it?
She's crafting everything.
Mm-hmm.
So David Yates is back as the director, and he's the one who did the later Harry Potters. There's an hour and a half worth of extras in this thing. Probably the best one is Ezra Miller and Ivana Lynch, who's Luna Lovegood in the Harry. They're total geeks on these movies, and they actually watch scenes from the movie and geek out. They just sit there and comment about how great things are and all this cool stuff going on.
See, this is the thing that's really dumb, right? So she wants to be involved in this universe, and it's like, but people would still clamor for more Harry Potter movies, right? I mean, like,
Yeah, I would love to see like a grown-up Harry Potter and
like
what happens.
A middle-aged Harry Potter.
Yeah, and what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, we know he's married.
Right.
And, like, we know he's got his kid. There's the whole cursed child thing, which was, I mean, like, why not just do it?
I don't know.
Why not just introduce it? You know, people, do you have any idea the demolition that would do at the box office? It would destroy.
Right.
It would be like the equivalent of episode 7 when that came out.
Yeah,
It
I
would
agree.
it would be so anticipated and so hyped. And you know Daniel Radcliffe would probably
He's not
do
doing
it.
anything right
Probably.
now.
I mean, he said, like, you know, if she came to me and it was really interesting, I'd think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if somebody came to you and they were like, okay, I'm going to pay you $30 million to be in this movie.
Right.
And you're going to be Harry Potter again. And
Luke
then
Skywalker.
We're going to get your other guys around here and,
Yeah.
and they're going to be in the movie for $20 million.
Yeah.
Or whatever because they're going to be the secondary roles. You mean tell me you're not going to do that?
Of course you'd do it.
He's always going to be typecast, as is the other two,
Yeah.
for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
Just, it is what it is. And you might as well, again,
Embrace it.
Again, it's like Avengers. Embrace it.
Embrace it, or you're going to end up at comic book conventions.
Ride that money train, man.
Right.
Ride that money train.
Now, if you could have got your iTunes to work, you would have noticed that there was an extended cut of the movie also. There's an extra 7 minutes.
That was what I was trying to play, and that's what wasn't working.
Okay. There were deleted scenes added and some stuff like that.
Okay.
There's a good scene, by the way, as far as deleted scenes. There's a brand new opening to the movie with Credence. And there's a brief meeting between Dumbledore and Professor Minerva McGonagall, a young Professor Minerva McGonagall. So anyway, I was not blown away by this movie. The 4K certainly looks awesome. When they have the creatures on the screen, very excited. I do want to go back and watch this movie again. I don't know if I was in a bad mood or whatever, but right now it's more of like a B- with me.
Well, that's the problem with these movies is they've been mixed.
Because when I went back and watched Harry Potter 7.1, I kind of liked it.
Really?
Years later, when I went back and watched it in context with everything else, I was good with it.
Oh, 7.2 is just awesome.
Yeah. So
I mean, trying to explain that to little kids about all the people who die in it is a little hard, but boy, what a good movie.
supposedly there's a total of 5 of these movies. I don't know how it's going to last, but we'll see.
I mean, but it's making money.
It did not make as much money as it should have.
No.
I think it made like $500 million, which is the smallest take on a Potter film yet. We'll see.
Even the first one?
Yep.
Well, I guess, yeah, because of inflation and
Yeah.
everything.
So we'll see.
Well, that's interesting.
Yep.
So B-, huh?
B-.
I can't even give you that for this movie that I watched. So this is this brand new movie that just came out on Netflix. It was a Netflix.
There's your first problem.
It's a Netflix exclusive, although I think some theaters are running it.
Should have just watched Roma.
So it's called Triple Frontier, and I will say that the tomato meter and the audience scores are pretty accurate.
Okay.
But
they're not terrible.
They're like B, low B.
Yeah.
Right? Like when you got a 69 on a test, that was what, a D?
Yeah.
A 70? No,
I would've
70 was
been-
a D. That's 69's an
I would
F.
have thrown myself out a window if I
Right.
got a 69 on a test.
So this whole movie, which by the way has a pretty decent cast in it, Oscar Isaac
Like him.
from Star Wars, Ben Affleck,
Sure.
Batman,
Batman.
or all of his other accolades. And this guy Charlie Hunman, who been in a lot of war movies. If you saw him, you'd recognize him. So there are a bunch of retired special forces officers,
Right.
with the exception of Oscar Isaac's character, who is in South America trying to do he's not a mercenary per se, but he works for a company that goes around trying to arrest bad people. And he decides he wants to come home because he knows that there's this really bad guy who is distributing drugs, who's got millions and millions of dollars, and he would like to get his former special ops friends to come with him so that they can take him out and then they can steal the money.
Heist film.
Heist film, because
I don't want another heist film.
they're all having financial problems. And so they've decided that instead of fighting for their country, they're going to fight for themselves. And their plan goes wrong, because they get greedy and they find way more money than they can carry, and they find so much money that it's too heavy, and the helicopter that they've managed to get can't fly over the Andes because it's got too much money hanging underneath it.
Okay.
And they crash.
Great.
And now they're in the mountains.
Now it's a cannibal film.
And they're being chased.
Okay.
And people die.
Yeah.
And they get some amount of money. And it's just a... what the hell is this movie?
Not a happy ending?
It's not a happy ending. It's just a weird movie. Like, and the funny thing is Ben Affleck gets top billing, and he's not in the movie that much.
Really?
Yeah. So yeah, it's like a C to C minus. It's not. I mean,
I don't know how Netflix keeps doing it.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
They got a lot of top quality actors, and they just keep throwing this stuff against the wall.
Well, everyone has said that it's not a financial achievable and maintainable financial outlook that they've got. I mean, some things are wildly popular,
right?
But are you really making a lot of money off Stranger Things? I mean, look at that movie Bright.
Right, and they dumped all the Marvel properties.
Well, they had to, because Disney bailed, right?
Well,
I thought Disney pulled them all.
See, I don't know. I should have read more, but like Daredevil was a really enjoyable series.
Luke Cage was on there. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what they do because they raised the rate to be a Netflix subscriber.
Right. And they have a ton of competition currently and coming out.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, every major studio is now going to try and brand their own network,
Well,
right?
Isn't Spielberg...
Their own streaming network.
Spielberg's got a something coming out on like Amazon or Netflix. I mean, it's just... it's so bizarre, right? There's no reason why Netflix couldn't dual release these things and say,
Right.
I'm going to put it in the theater...
Right.
But
right.
I'm also going to put it on streaming.
Right.
And if you want early access, it's $2 more a month. And you can watch these movies and not have to go to the theater.
Right.
Like,
Easily.
Easily. And this movie is in some theaters. But I mean, that movie Bright, they claim was one of the most watched movies, or they at the time was the most watched thing ever on Netflix.
He said it was terrible.
It's not great.
Right.
I mean, it's definitely...
And what about that Blind Box movie or whatever?
Black Mirror?
No, the one with...
Oh, Bird Box?
Bird Box. Wasn't that the talk for a while?
Yeah, but I don't want to watch it.
I still haven't watched it.
I don't want to watch it. That looks dumb. Black Mirror is really good, but that was that originated out of the BBC.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, they've definitely struck a deal with the BBC and a lot of British groups to stream shows.
Some more Doctor Who.
And the shows are really good.
Yeah.
And that's what's drawing people in. Because that TV show, The Bodyguard, which became like the huge thing. It was the guy from Game of Thrones, the one who died in the Red Wedding, one of the Stark brothers.
Give me a break. Really?
Rob Stark, I think.
Sure.
He's in it. He's the lead. And it, was like nominated for a couple Emmys.
Okay. I
still think HBO is a force to reckon with, but also like when Game of Thrones is done,
what do they got?
Are they doing the prequels, or is Amazon doing that?
I don't know.
I think Amazon's got the rights to the prequels.
Okay.
So HBO is, Game of Thrones is done. It's done.
Yep.
So
I don't know.
I mean, and Hulu has Handmaid's Tale and like a few others, but I sort of feel like they're a pretty distant. They're going to be like distant fourth. When you look at Netflix and Amazon and then the Disney product, that Disney product is going to be big. And then you got Hulu and whatever other services that are out there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever. At the box office, it was no surprise. Captain Marvel, now the second top grossing, will be the top grossing
and apparently
movie.
the trolls got us.
How do you figure?
Well, I went into it with a really negative attitude with everything going on with Captain Marvel, and it was basically a sucker punch because she killed.
Did you watch it?
No, but I'm just saying I wasn't going to go at all for a while.
Oh, I mean, I never really. I don't know. I mean, the only time that
How much did it make? It's like 400 million?
No, more than that. So right now, Captain Marvel worldwide is at 559.
Wow.
How to Train Your Dragon 3. Gotta say, man, that franchise is pretty good. Compared to the second one, it's only 4 million off at the 21-day mark. How to Train Your Dragon is currently number 3 worldwide at 443, almost $500 million. So
Captain Marvel will take over the Wandering Earth, probably.
And it wouldn't surprise me if How to Train Your Dragon does too, because that's an animated movie. That movie will stick around for a while.
And the Lego movie did not take off.
I don't understand that.
I don't either.
Something happened.
They waited too long.
Do you think that the negative press against Chris Pratt, like, in what his antics lately, could have done something there? I still believe that it's because they waited way too long to release this.
Right.
And I don't know. I haven't seen it. My kids saw it, and they said it was fine. But also, they did Lego Batman, which was amazing.
Right.
They did Lego Ninjago, which was not. And then they did Lego Movie 2, which I don't know. I think they just waited too long. So
well, those guys were producers on Into the Spider-Verse, which we will next week talk about.
Absolutely.
And it's phenomenal. Eye-popping.
You going to go back and watch it again?
Yeah, I'm going to have to, because there's a commentary track and there's a fact track.
Really?
Yeah, they really overdid it, which is fine with me.
I heard Nick Cage is not in it very much.
He's in it a little bit, but when he's in it, it's great.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And I'll tell you what, when you start watching it, you're going to go, what's wrong with my eyes? First, you're going to go, what's wrong with your eyes? Then you're going to go, do I need 3D glasses for this movie? What's going on? Why is everything kind of out of focus in the back? Because it looks like you need a 3D pair of glasses to watch it.
Right.
And that's intentional. So I don't know what's going on.
Well, the fact that they were
once you get used to it.
Well, the fact that they were able to mash up anime, black and white,
everything.
cartoony,
everything.
Yeah, and
everything.
And
there's probably 6 styles of animation on the screen at one time when all the characters show up.
But you want to know something? You know another movie that did something similar with that kind of animation that did really well? Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah.
Because, you brought in everybody into that thing.
We could talk about this more next week, but what I took away from this movie more than anything was they're going to have to force the other superhero universe to play the game now.
Good.
They got to play the game now because DC has been lazy.
Well,
forever.
And Aquaman just came out on digital, so we'll be reviewing that in a couple weeks.
Yep.
I still can't get over that at number 5 is Glass.
Yeah.
Worldwide.
That tells you something.
People want to see it.
Yeah.
But it's just, I hear it's really, really
after the
slow.
opening scene, it just slows down.
Did you watch it?
Not yet.
Yeah, I got to wait. And I got to go back and watch Unbreakable first. And maybe even Split.
Right.
Do the 2 of them first and then go watch this so they're fresh and see if it's a different perspective. But
all right,
man. Anything else?
No.
All good?
All good.
You know what next week is? It's our 75th episode.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
We made it.
Too. I can't believe it. It's all good.
Now we just need people to listen.
Yeah, well, I can't help that.
You can't help that.
Right.
You just keep producing.
Just gotta keep it going. Just keep pushing.
Baby.
All right. See ya.